Hey y'all, it's Brandon with Voodoo Forge, and continuing with the mailbox project. Let's get the flag done. This is my bracket for my flag, so I got to get to cutting it out. Well, I'm out of cutoff wheels for my big grinder, so let's go through. I'm going to throw this in the forge to do the bending, but first I want to put some small grinds in here where I'm going to put. That ought to work. Nothing says intelligent life decisions quite like building a 2,000-degree fire in your shop on hot days. Now, I'm not sure this is going to work the way I want it to, but my goal is to forge as much of this as I can and not fabricate it. Okay, that should work. Now I got one more bend. I think that is going to work. Okay. While that's cooling off, I'm going to cut this copper so I can start on my flag. Well, I don't work with copper a lot, but I've worked with it some. And one of the different things about copper is you heat it up and then you can quench it or let it cool, and that softens it to where you hammer it cold. And then when you hammer it, you're actually hardening the copper, and you heat it up and let it cool to get it back to where it's workable. So it's, pretty much the opposite of steel. Well, no, I mean you soften it. But anyway, you work it cold and you heat it in between. So let's get this heated once. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, the green flame's kind of freaking me out, but it's copper. It looks good and warm. Ah, shit! That was louder than I thought it was gonna be. That scared the crap out of me. Well, apparently my camera was off. All I've done so far is just flatten this out. And now I'm just going to start at the edges. Start thinning this. I want to get the size down. It's 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, I should probably stop hammering and talk. I'm going to start at the edges and work my way around. I want to start thinning this It's about 1/4 of an inch thick. And where I'm going to rivet it on, I need to have it a lot thinner than that. So I'm going to start thinning it out, and then I'm going to cut it into size once I've got it as thin as I want it. So I've been over the whole surface of this one time. It looks like I've got it down to about 3/16, but it is noticeably harder to hammer. So I'm going to throw it back in the forge. Back to our bracket here. This is going to need a 1/4 inch hole, but I'm just drilling a smaller pilot right this second. Okay, this is going to be the actual hole for the flag. So I want to try. And by the way, I've got to test all this before I weld it onto the mailbox, because I've just designed it in my head like usual. So I will make sure this works before I make any permanent attachments. So I'm going to try 17/64, which is a 64th larger than a 1/4 inch, because I'm going to have a 1/4 inch pin going through here, and hopefully that will give me enough wiggle room to make that work easy. If not, I've got what is this one? 9/32. So here's how our flag is gonna work. There will be a magnet on here to hold it up when it's up, and then when it lays down, I'm gonna have a little peg underneath it to keep it from dropping lower. But yeah, it looks like this is gonna work. Your magnet by your drill press. See what the magnet gonna go on here. That'll hold it. Probably this needs to come in a little bit. That's not a big deal. Okay, got this bent in a little more, so I think that's gonna work. Now it's time to start on our flagpole. For me to be able to rivet our flag on here, this has got to be significantly smaller. Initially, I was going to forge it down, but I think it's going to be a little more, I'm going to grind on it. Okay, I've got this ground down about where I need it, so now I'm going to hit it with the flat. Yeah, copper drill's so easy. Got my 3 rivets. Ooh, that is still hot. And I dropped the rivet. Okay, I've got my 3 rivets in through the copper side. Get everything lined up here. I had everything lined up. There we go. Start with this one. Take this guy over here to the corner so we can get a little more meat on her. And there's our flag. It's shined up a little bit. That's pretty cool. This is where I want my bracket. So, gonna spot it here real quick. And turn the shielding gas on, Brandon. Dadgum. That's better. Okay, now let's see how this looks. Well, there's our flag up. And, yep, that's gonna work. Let's stick it here. Remember, kids, a grinder and paint will make a welder what he ain't. Well, now it is time for me to do something that I hate doing, and that is hand drilling a hole. Oh! Got on hammer. Let's get it off hammer. There we go. Okay, this is all I've done to this. And this will go in from the inside, poke out here. I'll cut it off and weld it. This thing's centered, and we use some washers on each side. Well, maybe. Well, here's how we've got it on here. I've got that peg through the hole. Put some washers on here to keep this centered. And then the magnet will be epoxied on. That'll hold her up. There's our flag. There we go. Turn your gas on, Brandon. God. Jesus, how many times am I not going to turn the gas off? This stupid project. God. Well, that's the flag. I didn't think that was going to take that long. Everything seems to be taking longer than I thought it was going to on this. But flag's done. Now, next video I'll do on this, gonna do the pull for the door and the drip edge, the little roof that's going to go over the door, because you got to have something to keep rainwater from just going in the door. So that's where we're headed next. Hope y'all got something out of this. Hope this got your own creative juices flowing some, and y'all behave yourselves.